Hello and welcome to another episode of Off the Rack. I'm Sal.
And I'm Tiffany.
Oh, the only comic book review show where you can find us here live on ComicPop Returns every Monday night around 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time or much later. And of course, you can like this video, subscribe to our channel, and click the bell for notifications so you know when we go live on any video that we release on this channel, which is typically a live podcast arm from the ComicPop infrastructure. Of course, if you're not familiar with this show and you are familiar with Off the Rack or Back Issues, you know, and we do this too. I'm excited. We got no time for small talk. We don't even have time for news. There's thankfully there's not a lot going out there.
Yay.
So we don't have to talk about it. So like we don't have time for news because there's too many books, but we do have time for a rant. So Tiffany, why don't you just take it away?
Oh man, yeah. I had a real meltdown this weekend when I realized how many books I really wanted to read. And the rant wasn't about the fact that it was like, look at all this stuff.
Our cup runneth over. What a pain in the ass.
That's not what the problem is, right? The problem has nothing to do with that. I'm thrilled right now where it's just like, wow, look at all these comics I'm really excited about reading. That's amazing. But yo, these companies need to take a look at what when they're publishing. Because the fact is, like, what if you're a person who's living like paycheck to paycheck? Right? Like if you're getting a paycheck every week or every 2 weeks, right? This week was going to be hard for you. I had 11 books that I read, not counting Saga because Saga didn't get here in physical in time. I prefer to read that physical as opposed to all the rest of the books which I get from Comixology and stuff like that. Not affiliated. But like, I was like, that's a lot. That's a lot. And so like, what's going to happen is that like you're all right, maybe I'm only gonna read One World Under Doom, or I'm only gonna read Absolute Batman. I'm not gonna read I gotta read Absolute Flash. So maybe I don't pick up Ultimate
Power Fantasy or Ultimate Black Panther.
Exactly. It's just too much. And I know the fact is that like they don't think. Like, I mean, like, if there was some sort of, like, great machination in the background, which was like, oh, my gosh, like, we're trying to drown out the competition. Well, if you do that, you're just going to sink your own damn boat. Like, stop. Like, DC and Marvel, like, get it together, guys. Like, figure out when things are coming out. Listen, sometimes things get held up and you got to push things back and you move them around, right? But it's like, to have this many releases, you said next week you're reading like 12 books.
I'm 12 books next week.
And then the week before this, I had like 3 that I was interested in. And now that's my personal taste. But I feel like there are some weeks where it's like there are big hits coming out. And everything else is going to get swallowed up by that. Like, that doesn't help the local comic book store.
No.
That doesn't help them at all. Like, what you want is for them, like, people to be going into their LCS, like, every week if possible.
Exactly. You got to stagger it out because you don't want people, like, showing up and getting sticker shock when they go, like, oh, okay, that'll be $198.95. Like, oh, my God, what? I only wanted to buy a month's worth of books or a week's worth of books for that matter. Because these books are all, what, $5 a piece? 5 times 12? Are you kidding me? Every week?
Yeah.
And thankfully it's not every week that you get like 11 or 12 books, but like we're talking about the biggest books and some personal favorites, but we're not covering everything. This show does not cover every single item, and it's still a lot. I mean, we try to keep the show an hour. It's never going to make it that way.
And listen, there are some people out there, some weekend or some Wednesday warriors who are out there, and they're getting all the books, and good on you.
Yeah.
If you can afford that, that's amazing. But I literally can't help but think about, like, listen, I'm very lucky right now to have, like, a job, like, that isn't just this, right? And it's like, yay. But, like, even I'm not wealthy by any means of that word, like, at all. And I'm still like, ooh, this is a lot. This is a lot this week. This is a lot to spend. But like, I remember when it was like, money is scarce or money was scarce. And I'd be like, I wouldn't have been able to do this. Like, I would have been able to only buy like 1, maybe 2 books.
Well, then I don't want to hear about like piracy, you know what I mean? Or the problems thereof, because it's like, you can see the justifications, and it's always in every conversation you ever have about comics. It's like, well, I can't afford it, or well, the price is too high, or well, they put out too many books at once, and what am I supposed to do? Or well, I had a big lapse, and now I'm going to pick up every single book I missed over the last 6 years. And I'm like, at one point you gotta give it to them, at least in some level, where it's like, I don't give them an argument, make it easier. The barrier to entry is always high. And it's like, whether it's the penetrability of story or the accessibility of books, but then it's like, oh, and how about making them so expensive, or how about putting them all out one week? Like, come on, man.
And that's really what it is. Like, I understand that they neither DC, Marvel, Image, Boom, IDW, none of the publishers can know for sure the taste of each individual who's going to go in there, who's going to be like,
we shouldn't put out too many indie books in 1 week because, they're only, you know what I mean? They're all going to buy the same one.
It's like, we have like empirical data, which maybe they should, where it's just like, all right, people who are buying Batman and like, like Flash are also buying this other book, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, that indicates these tastes and therefore whatever. It's just literally like they're putting out these massive books for big initiatives right now, and they all seem to be falling within 1 or 2 weeks, leaving the other weeks to be like, oh, I guess I could go and try and catch up. But it feels, some people just feel like that's just a waste of their time, or it's just like, all right, that already passed. Like maybe I'll get it in trade at that point. Like I'm like, who are you helping here?
Right.
I don't understand.
Themselves only.
I guess, but not really. Right? Like are they seeing dips in sales? Are they not? Like, are they only seeing dips in sales for the books that are are being forced to come out in the weeks with these heavy hitters?
Yeah.
I don't know. I know we have a lot of books to talk about, but that just really got to me. And it really just started making me think about folks who are just like, shit is expensive, guys. And I know I'm supposed to curse within a certain amount of time, but like everything's expensive for everyone right now. And it's like, you want people to take part and enjoy this hobby, to enjoy this passion, right? This art. You want people to enjoy it and be able to like find the money to put aside to do this. But like, just some of these weeks, I can imagine some people just being like, screw it.
Yeah.
Like, man, like,
oh yeah. Well, how many people have an expansive pull list that then they miss something, or they miss a week or a month, and then they look at the stack and they go, nah.
I know. And that's just like, I'm just saying, like, I don't know. I have no solution to this, but like, for me, it feels like it starts at the top. And the top is like when your publishing timeline is. Anyway.
Yeah.
There's a lot coming out.
Oh, it's true. In fact, I should mention that we have a special guest coming up pretty soon within the hour. And I'm really excited to have Matthew Rosenberg swing by to talk about We're Taking Everyone Down With Us, a new book that's dropping, I believe, this or next week from Image Comics. And we're going to hear his short pitch on what the book is about and where you can pick it up. So I'm excited about that. But before we do that, let's talk about some comic books that came out the past week.
Heck yeah.
Let's do
it, Sal. What do you got?
Well, I read DC X Sonic the Hedgehog because why wouldn't you? From Ian Flynn and Adam Bryce Thomas. This is exactly what it sounds like, although not exactly what it sounds like. This is essentially Sonic licensing the DC characters and putting them in the Sonic universe. Not that like just right over the valley from Gotham City is the Green Hill Zone, but rather that like there is an interdimensional interworld crisis in which Darkseid has created this planetoid that's invading other worlds, and he invades the Sonic the Hedgehog world. He has a Ragnarok, and I was like, okay, that's fun. Reads and feels and looks exactly like a Sonic the Hedgehog comic book. It is in no way making any effort to contextualize you in the Sonic the Hedgehog world versus the DC world, but it also makes it's not like it favors one or the other, though it does read and feel. And once you see that like Flynn was working on like every Sonic comic for the last 20 years and also worked on the movies and all this other stuff, like, oh, it's a Sonic book. Like, it's a Sonic book with also Batman in it. Everyone teams up, Sonic, of course, teams up with the Flash, and Shadow teams up with Batman, and Knuckles teams up with Superman because they both fly, you see. And we're just watching these characters kind of like do their thing and go for it. And you did actually bring up, someone in the chat just brought up that like you were the first one to bring it up years ago in our Flash Rebirth episode. When is like the Flash going to meet Sonic? Today in 2025. It happened last week.
It happened.
Like Flash saying I'm speed personified and Sonic saying I'm speed perfected. It's
Well, I mean, he's shorter, he's more compact,
true.
It's just,
Yeah. If you want to see the Sonic gang team up with the DC Justice League, this is the book for you. If you don't care, this book will not convince you to care.
Right.
But it is fun, and it is unabashedly Sonic, and it does make no effort to contextualize with these characters. It's just like, oh, here's some characters. Hope you like them or know who they are because they're part of it now. It's fun. It's fun. Watch them see each other's, the DC universe react to the Sonic world, it's mostly about character interactions, but even then they're very superficial and surface level. But like, what else is it going to be, you know? But there is this moment where like Shadow's like, I don't have time for this, and he leaves. And Batman and it goes, I'll talk to him. So Batman goes, he's like, yeah, you lost someone important, didn't you? And then Shadow gets all into Maria, and then Batman's like, yeah, my parents were killed in front of me. Now anyway, let's get back into the swing of things. And like, okay, I'll trust you because we're both sad. And I'm like, right on. Yeah, I remember when Batman did that with Raphael. That was fun. Did I like it more than Ninja Turtles? Yeah.
Yeah, but you're a Ninja Turtles fan.
But I'm a Ninja Turtles fan, so
this
is
like for Sonic fans, which there are legion.
They are legion. And so if you like Sonic, you're going to love the Sonic the Hedgehog DC crossover. If you like DC and you're like, I don't know anything about Sonic, you're not going to learn anything new about Sonic through this book, but you might have a good time watching these characters like smile and be drawn a little bit more cartoony and solve a problem like Darkseid, which I'm like, how did you get through with that? Like Darkseid is busy, you know, like he's dead. And they also just reduced there is no other multiversal version of Darkseid, but he is in this. So who cares? Like don't. Yeah,
but this probably is not. It's not like
it's just like, it doesn't matter. Like the multiverse says there is no other Darkseid. It doesn't matter. It's a cute little crossover that it hurts no one and is exactly for the people that are interested in this cover. If you dig that, jump in. I did not find myself loving it, but I didn't hate it.
You're also not the world's biggest Sonic fan.
Care less, but it's fine.
But like that means that I think that speaks kind of volumes for it then, where it's just like you were entertained by it.
I was entertained,
even as like a person who's like, I don't care about Sonic.
Yeah, and it's gonna keep going. I don't know if I will, but like it's fine.
Yeah,
it's totally fine. What about you?
Yeah, I don't even know where to start. Let's talk about Question All on the Watchtower.
Okay.
Number 5 came out. This is the penultimate issue.
Oh, good.
Of this series. This is written by Alex Seguera. Seguera?
Yeah.
Seguera. With art by Cyan Tormey and Raul Fernandez. Man. I remember last time I was just like, I kind of missed the mystery. I just like the action wasn't hitting with me necessarily. This issue was more action packed and it definitely hit more so for some reason. I was like, yeah, okay. Like I didn't actually know when I was reading it that it was penultimate. I wasn't thinking about the issue number until I was done. And I was like, oh my god.
Oh, is this over?
But like I knew it wasn't over. I knew it had one more, but it felt like it in like the best way possible. You know what I mean? Like you can feel that this is wrapping up, but in a way where it's just like, hey, the story's naturally coming to its conclusion, and not like, oh no, we have to end it. And it's like, no, we're getting.
No, it feels like it
very
does
naturally
and naturally.
Exactly. Like Question's in the fight for her life against her own team, who's under the control of Cyborg Superman. Eradicator was like, oh man, like Cyborg Superman, like he was like all into it, and then he's like, you know what? I think I'm just gonna like, take my end of the bargain, and I'm gonna go.
Oh,
I'm gonna leave.
Okay.
And Cyborg Superman's like, no one's leaving. I've lost my mind. Nobody's going anywhere. Everyone's gonna die on here, including you and me. Everyone. So then the Eradicator's like, oh,
cool. Okay.
Man, I guess I should have seen this coming. But so like Cyborg Superman has like control over like everybody who's on the Watchtower right now, essentially. Including like people like Dr. Fate, where I was like, I call foul, but also like Cyborg Superman's not thinking about who he has. He's just like, I have everyone, who cares?
Sure.
But Questions notice that the more people he controls, the shakier that control is. And so inevitably, as she's like fighting Blue Beetle, Jaime, because there's both Blue Beetles are on her team.
Right,
so I actually need to qualify that. He kind of breaks out like free for a second and like gives her this tracker that's going to lead her to the next MacGuffin that she needs to get. So she uses the tracker and she ends up finding this dog who's adorable, who's been like affected by the Phantom Zone. And it's like, cool, right?
Yeah.
And around his neck, he has this little like chip. And so she utilizes that in order to like reverse the whatever and save the Watchtower. and she does, right? It's like, and it's cool and it's tense and whatever. And the dog comes with her and the dog's adorable. And hopefully it'll be added into the DC pantheon of pets. I really like it. He's like a German Shepherd with like weird, like, growths on him.
Okay.
Like kind of doomsday-y in a way.
Oh, okay.
Like it's cute. Hang on. There he is. You see him?
Yep.
Isn't he
he's
cute?
Great. Yeah, he's awesome.
He's adorable. I like him. But yeah, so like inevitably Renee has to fight Kate, but like Renee realizes that like the more violent you are, that like Superman like feeds off of that. And so like if she just like faces her with non-violence and love, that like it'll be fine. And she does, and they like, reunite and Kate's on her side and yay, everybody.
Great.
And that's when the other Question shows up. Like he's like, hey, what's up?
Oh, great.
And I'm like, Okay. I don't know why I didn't see that coming. I was like, this is her book. So I'm interested to see why in the 0 hour.
The book's called The Question. It doesn't say which question we're talking about.
I suppose that is true. So the other question shows up. And in order to help save the Watchtower. But listen, inevitably, like, they save it, and then Cyber Superman throws a fit and, like, punches a hole in the tower. And so, like, the space is a real problem now.
Sure, yeah.
So I'm looking forward to it. Like I said, like, you could feel in this issue we're wrapping it up, but like in a totally natural way. I am wondering how the other question will fit into this. But anyway,
yeah.
Good stuff. Got a lot of fun.
Good.
Art is fun. I actually like the art quite a bit.
Yeah,
it's got like a really like fun feel
to it. It does. It's very. I don't know what to call it.
I don't either. But it has like this like really beautiful like comic booky style, but has like a lot of fluidity and like, you know, action is captured really well.
And
like
contemporary.
It is contemporary. It's very contemporary. Like, people who are bulky and big feel like they have mass, and like, you know, like hair looks like it's soft and whatever. Like, it's just very like, I don't know. I can feel it.
Yeah,
just feel it. It's fun and it's nice. And like I said, like, great job on the dog. I immediately was just like, yeah. I mean, I'm sure a reference was used. I don't care.
Oh, who cares? It's great.
Yeah,
no,
it's
yeah. I love it. Expressive.
Well,
you get a chance to read this. I did not. I'm sorry.
Yo,
I just didn't have a chance to read this yet.
Yo, you didn't read 4. New Gods. I literally was like, did you read New Gods? And he's like, no.
Yesterday, I literally picked up the issue and I looked at it and I went, oh, geez, I don't have time for this right now. I was recording a show. I had another show to record this morning, and it didn't get recorded. But it will be recorded hopefully on Friday.
Sure, fantastic.
But yeah, I lost my time.
That's fine. This is New Gods number 4 by Ram V with art by Evan Cagle, and this time with guest art by Bernard Chung.
Oh, cool.
Who like pitches in right at the start.
Yep.
Which is interesting because I didn't recognize his art style initially, and then like at the end I was like, what? And then rolled back to see where his art was. I was like, oh my gosh, what? Again, gorgeous book. If last issue you're like, wow, this is very like myth
heady
and story and up there. I'm not saying that this issue is any less like, you know, intellectual and thought provoking, but it is much more comic
accessible
book feeling. Like it has a more comic book layout, and like the story is like, okay, got it. Here's what's happening in the story right now.
Good. It's probably important.
Yeah. I mean, like right now, it feels like the New Gods are going to be in for some failure in the near future. You know what I mean? Like they're holding off the forces, like the antagonist that was attacking them, right? And like, you know, we get to see Shadowfall and her amazing archery, and it's just very cool looking, very epic, very like the you know, the stuff that myth is made of.
Yes,
right.
Ram is really leaning into the format and expressing what I've heard. And I recently watched an interview with Neil Adams, the late great Neil Adams, where he's talking about how like he believed that comics are like the last great artistic medium, and that they are like the stuff that myths are made of. And the company working on New Gods, and when I say company, I don't mean capital C DC. I mean like the team.
Yes.
Are executing it thusly, and like scenes like this arrow sequence are just exactly what comics were made to
absolutely. The arrow sequence is gorgeous, but it's like you could imagine like a storyteller, you know, passing this down, like, oh, and then Shadowfall went out and fought legions, you know, like this is my second Legions opportunity to use that word, but it's like aptly used, I feel like.
I agree.
But yeah, we get a fuller image of Highfather in this. I feel like we're starting to, you know,
round out him.
Yeah, a little bit more. We were already getting some stuff like background stuff, but like his current state of mind in a sense. And Scott and Bart are finally run into the child. Like, we just kind of cut to the quick.
Great.
Like they found the child, which I think they showed in the last issue, but it was like I realized just how much they cut to the quick, and it's like, you know what? That's fine. This isn't about that journey. It's obviously about something else.
Right.
And I have no doubt about like where Ram V will be able to guide us, right?
Sure.
But yeah, and you know, they're like, yeah, we finally did it. And Orion's like, hey, I'm here.
Oh no.
Hey, I'm here too.
Yep.
Immediately.
Gotta kill the kid. Here we go.
I gotta do it. So like we totally get to see Barta just lay out Orion, which was like uber satisfying, because he rolls up and he's just like, I don't know why I thought I wouldn't have to do this, but I'm like, dude, you're your own guy.
Yeah.
Like I understand that Highfather like told you what to do, but my guy.
Yeah, but that's what I am. I am nothing but a weapon and a soldier. And it's like, the whole point of you leaving Darkseid and being brought up by High Father?
I agree. It also feels like he's just like, it's not my fault. I just have to do this. And I was like, that is
stop making me do this. Oh, I'm not enjoying it anyway.
Take responsibility for yourself, Orion. I have zero patience for you, apparently.
Yeah. But then Barda gets to have her conscience clean by beating the living tar out of him.
Oh yeah, no, she
not that she would feel bad anyway.
Oh no, she we get a good old fashioned kapow, and I'm just like, yes, kapow, kapow. The kid enters the Avatar state too. I
whatever.
have to get that out of my brain, but I can't.
That's fair. He straight up is.
Yeah. Art in this is spectacular as always.
Kegel crushes it.
Kegel is absolutely destroying
it. The newcomer, what's it called? Bernard Chang.
Great guest art right in the start. Really brought like an older, almost like, I don't want to say Romita, but I kind of want to say Romita styling to it. And like, it's just, like I said, like I just didn't realize it was him, and I think it has more to do with like just seeing Highfather in an older costume.
It's very Kirby.
It is Kirby. It is, but like it's not quite Kirby, so that's why I was like going towards Romita. I don't know why. Romita has a very distinct styling.
Yeah, well, Junior was very influenced by Kirby. Very blocky, kind of character design and stuff like that. You know what it reminds me of a little bit? Simonson.
Okay, I can see that.
A little Simonson vibes. Could be just because of the epic nature of the story and these bearded characters who are all awesome.
I should also mention that like we get the mother box, like they built the mother box in this.
All right, cool.
And so we get to see that origin again. Like we're learning myth here, we're learning story, we're learning history, but in a fun way that is punctuated by Orion getting punched in the face, which I am very much here for.
Oh, absolutely.
So like I very much like this series, but again, this week in comics, I feel like people might be like, all right, I'm not going to be picking up New Gods, and I feel like if you miss out on a couple of issues of New Gods, it's going to feel like a monumental task just because of how
dense
it is. Absolutely. Yeah. So don't let it intimidate you, I guess is what I'm saying. Like, I know you might feel like that, but if you want to, and like next week you have a lighter week and you want to go and see if you can grab an issue of it, I say go grab it. Like it's a really solid story, and you don't have to know anything about the New Gods to read it.
Right. That's fair. Yay, good to hear. Well, I read Detective Comics 1095 from Tom Taylor and Mikhail Yanin, continuing this story arc where Batman is dealing with the fallout of his father's decision to save Joe Chill before he had a chance to murder them, and the consequences of Martha having hidden Joe Chill's child and battered wife, and how those chickens come home to roost in Batman's present. And
shouldn't it be bats?
What?
How the bats?
The bats have come to roost. Yes, the bats have. Yeah, and they roost too. So I guess that still is apropos.
I don't know,
but yeah, man, this is a good series. As much as I like seeing a Batman with a personality, I like seeing this Batman be capable, but at the same time, Batman is also kind of a dumbass and makes a lot of like rookie mistakes, which I would have expected in a book like Batman Dark Patterns, which is, Batman perfected. But this has Batman, like, there's an interaction where he's trying to figure out, what Joe Chill knows and how he's connected. And I'm like, all I could think of is the Three Jokers book, which is not in continuity anymore, which has Joe Chill and Batman interact, and Batman goes to talk to him. And it's just like, say what you will about Jeff Johns, but like, man, does it work? Like, that book has some amazing Joe Chill stuff in there and some weird Joker shit in there. But like, all I could think of is that. And I see this and I'm like, this is fine. Like, this is fine. But like, in one fell swoop, Batman asks Joe Chill a couple of questions, and in it, he reveals to Joe Chill that he has a wife, that his wife and child are in the area, and also that his child made it, and also that he's Batman, like that he's Bruce Wayne. Like he gives away the store in a kind of like what should be an intimidating Batman sequence. But if you think about it for 2 seconds, you're like, Batman, why didn't you just do that?
Reasons.
And initially my thought was like, oh yeah, Batman's like doing something, he's playing fourth dimensional chess. But I'm like, oh wait, no, this is just not well crafted. Oops. That said, I do still enjoy the narrative. There is, of course, like the mystery of who the lady is who's stabbing people, killing kids and stuff. I think we all know who it is, but like, I'm sure that will be revealed shortly.
Sure.
Right, yeah, exactly. It's like, yeah, I put on a wig and everything. I this issue felt like, oh, we're wrapping things up. Like, it really just feel like things are culminating.
But not in the way that where it's positive.
No. I'm down. It's just like, I hope this doesn't keep. Like, I hope this isn't like Taylor's run. We're at part 6. This feels like we're done. like we should be wrapped up in another issue or two. And I hope we are, because, you know, Batman kind of gives it all away. He tells Clark about the, you know, kid killing, bloodletting, 1%ers being euthanized, like being, I was going to say euthanized, but like they are youthanized. Youth. But they're made younger by the blood of like children. And like the Daily Planet scoops it. So that's it, right? Like your company's done. Unless it's being subsidized by bazillionaires, which of course it would be in the real world, but we're in a fictitious world where we don't have to live like that. Because I'm not here to read comic books to feel that friggin' miserable all the time. But yeah, there's some cool stuff in here. The Yannon art is, if you don't like Yannon, you're not gonna like this. If you do, it's great. You know, it's true to form, Mikhail Yannon stuff. But yeah, it's fine. I like it because I like seeing Batman with a little personality. And I like the idea of Batman being vulnerable, and that's something that we see in this, but not like stupid vulnerable. He is stupid, but not stupid vulnerable. But yeah, I dig this series, though I'm not, you know, it ain't prime time.
It may not be your favorite.
It is not, but it, you know, and it just reminds me of better stuff. Which is another problem. But it's fine, you know, no complaints. I'm not complaining.
Whoa.
What do you got? You want to get into the Ultimate Universe in some way?
Do we want to do that?
No.
Let's go. Let me talk about my 2 indies this week.
Oh, great idea.
Let's chat about Bug Wars real quick.
Bug Wars.
Bug Wars.
Yeah. Jason Aaron's magnum opus about bugs.
Bug Wars issue 2 came out. I was gonna read it. I don't know, guys. It's written by Jason Aaron with art by Mahmoud Asrar. I was reading.
That's the Conan team.
This is the Conan team. No, absolutely. If you liked his Conan, this is the team, right? This is they, right?
Then this is the Bug Wars.
And like, I literally was reading this, and I went to like, while I was reading it, getting towards the end, I was like, I don't understand how this book is compelling as it is. Like, it's a lot of things I feel like I know all in one, but written with the grit and conviction of Conan. Like, it's like, here's a story about bugs and a weird world in the yard where there's like, you know, all these factions of bugs and all this like drama and stuff.
It's Act 2 of Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
And like literally written like we're dealing with Conan and all of what he has to go through. And I'm like, yes, okay, I'm in. Why? I don't know. But I am in. Like, sometimes it feels obvious, like, you know, like what a twist will be, right? Like, I'm like, as the twist is being revealed, I'm right there with you, right?
Yeah.
But when that happens, it's not like I'm like, oh man, how like lame. I'm more like, you know, that satisfaction you get when you know what a hero will do in a movie right before they do it.
Yeah. That's what you're getting.
That's what I feel like. I'm like, it's
gonna be cool. Yeah.
It's like an additional notes section in the back. It is intense. Like, and it's an intense set of notes in the back where it's like all this extra lore. So it's like,
we're not going to get to this, unfortunately.
This is thought out. Like, it's like, let's talk about the Beetle Clan and all the parts of that, and like the Beetle Riders and the Dung Riders and the this and the that and the what. This is where the blah 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 blah. Like, this is a thought out universe. Like, if you were questioning if this is just Jason Aaron being like, I don't know, it's bugs. Who cares?
Right.
And it's like, no, these notes go, no, it's not. No, it is not.
No, I put work into this.
There's also a letter in the back from Aaron where he talks a little bit about what he's writing, and then he gives you like his pick for favorite stories about tiny adventures that like also help to like influence him, including Sword of the Atom.
Oh.
By Jan Strnad or Strand. It could be an incorrect.
Like an odd pronunciation. Yeah.
And Gil Kane. And also The Secret of Nim. So it's like, he has been influenced. And he's writing something he cares about. So put that out of your mind if you're just like, it's just who cares, right? It's not. This means something to him.
Yeah.
The art's really great. Well, I literally can't handle how much like I like the designs for some of these characters. Like this specific character shows up. She's of like the web weaver. She's like a spider witch. She's a spider sister.
Cool.
And like she looks like a nun. I was like, I'm getting nun, and then they called her spider sister, and I was like, this is why this team works so well. Asrar is there to visually help support Aaron's story.
Yeah,
and it frustrated me because immediately I was like, oh, I like her, and then she did magic, and I was like,
oh, they made her for you. You know, from all the times you've walked up to Jason Aaron and Mahmoud Asrar's booths and been like, hey, I love your stuff, and please sign another issue of my Conan.
Yeah, please do that. Thank you. Please.
And they're like, fine, Tiffany, here's your character.
Hooray! Thanks for putting a spider character in there. She's really fun, and I like.
Maybe your husband will like her because she's spider-based or something.
Yeah.
In the meantime,
whatever.
She's got powers and she's cool looking.
But it's like you got these incredible like designs and this crazy world and this like Thunderdome-esque moment in this world, right? And there's like this one guy who's clearly of like a bee clan.
Right.
Can you believe I'm saying these words?
I can.
But like he has this moment where I'm just like, oh, ha ha ha, like you're tiny, so like you're all gonna be fighting against something, and it's like they're talking about blood and this and that. I'm like, oh, it's like mosquito. They're gonna fight like a mosquito.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, oh, okay, cool. Let's do it, right? But it's like honestly, I was like, that's hilarious, but it's scary. Like one shows up, and then a whole bunch of them, and they just all. And I was like,
then they harpoon people.
That's legitimately kind of terrifying.
Yeah.
I don't know. But yeah, so I don't know, guys. I don't know what makes me like this so much. I noticed in chat someone mentioned that like they talked about how like they look like humans.
Yeah.
They are not bugs. No. There are also bugs. Like,
right. There are bug people.
They're bug people. Like they are people.
And they're small. And you just don't
tiny.
See them.
Like I don't know why someone would critique that. That's what this is about. It's about, and I'm not saying the person who wrote that. They're just saying they heard a criticism. So I don't know who said that to you.
Right.
But it's like,
no, there are bugs.
There are bugs.
And there are also people based on bugs. Yeah.
So I have no issue with that because fantasy, because this is a fantasy world.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know. I think it's cute and clever and fun. Like some of them don't. Some of them look more like bugs. Some don't. They ride beetle, but like there's like a big beetle that it's like the kid's beetle, right?
Yeah.
They like ride them. That's a bug, and they ride them, and then they're mosquitoes, right?
Yeah.
They're not people. They don't get a vote.
Yeah.
You know, like they're a little more sexy and whatever, because it's like I don't want you to think like I was just reading in that interview book that you had about Calvin and Hobbes, and like Bill Watterson talking about how it's like, you know, you can get away with more when you have an animal doing something than you can with a human. Like, for example, he was talking about some other like Sunday newspaper comic thing where it's like if you had an animal like sitting on a toilet reading a newspaper, that's funny.
Yeah.
But if you had like a person doing that, that's gross, right?
Yes.
So I feel like Aaron not like having Asrar lean into them looking too buggy is because he wants you to take it somewhat seriously.
Right. He wants you to feel for them. If they are otherized, then you don't.
Or if they're just like, they just look like bugs, and it's like, oh, I mean, like it can still be violent and scary, but like you won't be maybe as connected to them.
Yeah.
So like I understand it to some degree.
Sure. Absolutely. But Bug Wars, it's still cool.
I didn't mean to get so much into it, but yeah, for sure. And then let's just also really quickly talk about Power Fantasy number 7, because that came out this week, written by Kieran Gillen, art by Casper Wingard.
Yeah.
This is the sort of book that reminds me just to enjoy it every time I read it, because there's a part of my brain that knows that one day it will be over. And it will break my heart. Like I'm enjoying this series so much that the day it ends, I will be very sad, much like I was with Hellblazer. So when I'm reading it, I have to be like, just enjoy it.
Yeah.
Just enjoy reading it.
Right.
Like it's fine. Right. Like just have a good time with it. This book, like when you uncover the past, which we do a lot in this issue, when like moments are revealed, history is revealed, it doesn't feel like a dump. It feels like every revelation adds instead of subtraction. You know, sometimes when you learn something, it like seemingly kind of takes away from whatever's currently going on or whatever you believe. This is only adding to everything, right? Like I absolutely love it. As I was reading this, I was like, how many issues is this? 7? It's only 7. Ugh. Because for me, it feels like these characters have been in existence for longer than 7 issues.
Sure.
Right? Like they feel like they've been around for years and they've just been waiting for the story to be told.
Yeah.
Like that's what I love about some stories in comics. And it's not always an independent book. Sometimes it's a big 2 book that makes me feel like that. But it feels like a story that existed and it just needed the creators to write it down.
Yes.
That's what Power Fantasy feels like for me right now. Like Wingard's art is freaking, it's art. Like it is art through and through. Like it's sure it has like a very distinct style and it's like very illustrative, but like it's just beautiful.
Yeah.
Like absolutely stunning. It's expressive and it works in perfect harmony with like the written word. And it's also completely additive. It's not distracting.
Yeah.
It's just perfect. You know what I mean? Like
totally.
It's beautiful and I love looking at it, but it doesn't like, you know, like stand out over the story. And the story doesn't stand out over the art. They just work in like perfect harmony.
Yeah.
This month's letter is from Gillen, which I think the next one may not be. They might get a guest writer for it.
Cool.
And it's great because it links a primer for the book.
Right. Now explain how it's
I'm not
linked.
only going to explain it. I'm going to just link it because I copied it.
Oh, great.
So I'm going to drop it in the chat here.
Oh, here. It's already in the chat, isn't it? You sent it to me before.
Yeah, so but I got it.
Okay.
I got it right here. I'm gonna pop on in there.
Oh, great.
And I'm gonna paste it. Yep, there it is.
There you go, everybody.
That's
Click
the
that
link. You may have to copy it. I don't know. Anyway, so what did Gillen do? He went ahead and he heard that like people wanted to like share this book with their friends and like maybe was having a hard time describing what it was about or like, you know, because he mentions like Watchmen and he talks about all that stuff in there, like in his letter.
Yeah.
But like he mentions that like some folks just needed a little help. So they put together this primer and it's a brilliant piece of marketing. Mm-hmm. Like it's marketing in that way where it's like, I want to get more people to see this. I want to get this in as many hands as possible and give people who are passionate about it a tool to do that. And so the primer has, if the link didn't work, feel free to drop it again. The primer is like everything you wanted to know about the power fantasy, but we're too afraid to ask, right? And what it does is it gives you like a couple of quick bites about like what the book's about. And then it actually gives you like the first few issues or the first few pages, I should say, of a couple of the issues, right? And then it goes on to like introduce you to some of the stories. So like literally it's like, here are the first pages of the issue. Like, this is brilliant. So if you were thinking about trying power fantasy, and
it's free.
You can check out a little bit of it to see if it's for you, right? I mean, like, geez, look at this. Like, this is phenomenal, right? And then it goes on to give you character bios and all of that, and you know, just like more information on like where you can get it and how many issues are out. I think they put this out for like issue 6, so we're now on issue 7.
Mm-hmm.
But like, it's brilliant. Like, this is just brilliant comic book marketing.
It is.
And I'm like, listen up, others. Like, this is how you get your book out there. This is how you get your book in the hands of people who care, as you put the power in the people who are supporting it, the people who love it, and the people who want to share it.
Yeah.
Right. Like, I want to get someone to read this, right? But maybe I only buy through Comixology. It's like, yeah, I could share my password and stuff like that, but that's like gets into a whole nother like pile of stuff where it's like, is that person actually going to read it? Right. I'm going to send them this. Maybe they go and check it out. They even has some of like Gillen's letters in the back.
Yeah.
And like some things to come. It's a brilliant piece that he put out there. And like, I can't recommend it enough. If you've heard me talking about power fantasy and you really were on the fence about it, because it's like, obviously it's another thing to buy, it's another expense, and you just want to know if it's for you, this primer will absolutely give you an idea if it is for you or not.
Yeah. Yeah. My only regret about power fantasy is they have a huge selection of quotes and none of them are from us. I'm sad that we didn't get a chance to send them anything.
Well, it's mostly other writers.
Yeah, there's a couple of things in there. I'm like,
one of them's like r/Image Comics.
Yeah, and I'm like,
well, they didn't have to.
They didn't have to credit.
I only talk. I don't write.
I know. We need to pop it in somehow.
I only talk.
You know, some companies write it down. I know at least one of them put us out there, but yeah, but it's good. It's great.
I don't like, but like, I'm in this boat where I am that type of person, which is like, I just want other people to check this out. Like,
well, thankfully it's not like it's like we're gunning for 64 issues, you know. It's like it's 7
right now. Yeah,
like you're gonna get the whole power fantasy.
Yep.
But you were hoping maybe if it sells, like if it's a Titanic seller, maybe we'll get more power fantasy.
Of course, but yeah, it's
at the very least, it's worth celebrating.
I was so impressed by this concept, and I was immediately like, oh, we put a Bitly in. All right, I'm going to the Bitly, and I started sliding through. I was like, wow, really?
Yeah, that's fair.
Amazing.
Yeah, that's great. I'm so glad. Well, I read The Last Days of Lex Luthor. Hey, remember like 16 years ago when the first issue of this came out? I'm just kidding. It was only 3. But yeah, this is you know, it's Mark Waid, it's Brian Hitch. If you've heard me complain about Brian Hitch's art before, not that I don't like it. It's more like, you know, some of his widescreen comic stuff is fantastic, and I think some of his more recent work, and I'm going from like Rebirth onward, hasn't been as exciting. And this is not that. This looks great. This is like authority level art. Like it looks phenomenal.
Wow.
And you know where those extra years went. They went into Brian Hitch drawing the crap out of Superman: The Last Days of Lex Luthor, a book that is like, I think I've read this already, but it's still good. I still really enjoy it. You know, the art is really the standout because like it's just Brian Hitch like being better than he's been in a decade. But you know, it's Mark Waid true to form. The book is Mark Waid being like, I am sick of people telling me that Superman's unrelatable or uninteresting, or what is Superman all about? Here it is. You could feel every reaction to Superman that Mark Waid doesn't agree with on display in this book. It is deliberately written through the eyes of Lex Luthor, so you can see Superman through not only his greatest cynic, but his greatest critic and his greatest nemesis. You know, so it's like, if you don't like Superman, you should read this book because you are the protagonist, Lex Luthor, and also you're wrong and you're evil. So like you should definitely be changing your tune by the end of it. Like that's what the book is basically.
Right.
And it's just Mark Waid going like, how dare you not like or understand Superman? I happen to agree with him, so I love this book, and I think it's really great, and it's fun, though it does seem familiar. You know, if you've read his Birthright, if you've read his Kingdom Come, it's the second time I've seen a character refer to Superman as Milquetoast, and they're both written by Mark Waid. I was like, hey, I remember when you did that in Kingdom Come. And here we are again. How fun is that? So it does have shades of Kingdom Come, not just in terms of him using the same words, but also because of like the theming and the thinking and the execution. And it's just a fun, good Superman story that probably could have been continuity, but we'll see how it ends. But I'm digging on it. I got a lot of, it's funny, I actually also got like One More Day vibes. Cause like, remember when Spider-Man's like, I gotta get Man May fixed. And then like, he goes to everyone who could easily fix her, but like editorial says no, so she's not getting fixed. That's what happens in this. He's like, I gotta save Lex Luthor. And he takes it to everybody. He takes him to everyone who could easily save him. And they're like, I don't know what it is, but every reason to save him can't work for some reason.
Well, he's just gonna have to sell his marriage.
Yeah, that's probably how this good book's gonna end. Superman One More Day, but that almost happened. But yeah, Lan, I enjoy this book. I think if you're not already picking this up, you could probably just wait for the trade. It's not like they're not going to make the third issue, but I do enjoy it very much. And if you're looking for just something to read that's Superman related, that's kind of out of continuity, but also you'll read and you'll go like, oh man, like I should be coming to the end of this issue, and then there's more because it's Black Label and it's a little bigger too. Then definitely pick this book up.
Yeah,
it's good stuff. I just dig it. Moving on. Yeah.
Now we can do Ultimate.
All right. Ultimate Black Panther time.
All right. It's the Ultimate Black Panther time. Fantastic. This is written by Brian Hill with guest artist Carlos Nito.
Ooh. Is this the first time that we've had a different artist on Black Panther, Ultimate Black Panther?
I think so.
Feels like it is.
It looks really good.
It does look good though.
It looks real good. I'm not saying, I think Caselli's on this usually. And like, it looks great. This looks good too. Like, I didn't question it. And then I was like, wait, what?
Wait, this is a different artist. Yeah.
What? Man, Hill is cooking, in my opinion. I am apparently wrong based on sales, but I don't care. I think he's doing a great job. I loved this issue. He's crafted a story that doesn't have like, you know how like, okay, so we are, is it issue 14? So this is like a couple of volumes, right? Yeah. At least.
Yeah.
Like 2, we're almost at 3. Maybe,
yeah, I think we're probably on 2.
Depending on, it's probably 2, right? Yeah. With like a little bit.
If you're doing 7 issues, I don't know how long their arcs are. So it's like, it could be 7. It could be, if it's not, we might not even be on volume 2.
Well, and that's true, right? Because even if we have done several volumes or not, it doesn't matter because this story doesn't have hard stops. You know how it's like, you can feel it's like, and the story is over. And it's like, no, he is telling the story. Here's the story.
Yeah.
Here it is. It reads, I guess, more like a manga in that sense.
Sure.
Where it's just like, here it is. I'm just telling you one fluid story.
Which makes sense that they always release Ultimate Black Panther and Ultimate X-Men in the same week.
I should stop doing that. Yeah, I find this story to be cohesive but it like still thrilling. I think it's thrilling. Like, I still say it's thrilling.
Yeah.
I know more people are like, I want to see more punching. We're getting there.
Yeah.
There's more punching.
Every cover has a punch on it.
Also,
apparently we're also on volume 3, so
there you go. Right? But like, it doesn't feel like that. This is just the story. This is just the story. Also, T'Challa's going to don a costume that looks a lot like the 1960s suit.
Oh no!
I think it looks great.
That's fun.
Look at that.
Yeah, look at that. But got the cape and it's got kind of a cape, side cape.
It has a side cape, but I think the original, like not the original one, but like there is a one from like I think it's like 66.
Yeah, that's the original one
where he has like a side cape. But there was like another one that's more colorful before that.
Yeah.
But this one, there was like a prototype of that had an open cowl. Apparently, I looked it up. I was like, I want to know more about this.
Yeah.
And this has the open cowl, and I'm like kind of thrilled by that. I can't wait for him to wear this.
I hope he does.
Like he will. He has to, because he was like, this suit doesn't have vibranium in it. And I need to wear something that doesn't have vibranium. I can't trust it. I can't trust the vibranium. So I got to wear this suit. And I'm like, neat. So he's not going to be able to rely on the vibranium tech.
That's cool.
Like, I think that's really fun.
Yeah.
Right. And like, storylines are starting to like kind of thread together. You know, we're setting up Killmonger to either continue to be a totally fine person or not.
Right.
Or
I mean, based on his name, probably not.
Or not. I don't know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, he can't help himself. He wants to, you know, he like in the last issue, I think he was talking with Aurora about, he's just like, no, we can use this. We can make this work. And she's like, we got to go.
Right.
And this, he becomes like T'Challa's general. Cause like, he's like, I got to go do stuff and I'm going to put you in charge because Shuri can't be trusted. Like she's too war hungry.
Okay.
So you're going to be in charge. And I'm like, uh-oh.
Yeah.
Either this is going to be totally fine and he'll just messing around with us, or it's not going to be fine.
Well, I mean, it's probably some combination thereof, right?
But you know, also the dark vibranium like antagonist, there's like a being, right? We've talked about this.
Yes.
And he is, or it is, body hopping.
Oh no.
Right. And like, I'm guessing the bodies don't last super long.
He burns out.
Super powerful.
Oh no.
Yeah. And I'm like, oh, this really opens the door.
Yeah.
Like this opens the door for taken over.
Absolutely.
Like,
or T'Challa himself.
I know. I originally had thought that. I was like, ooh. I'm like, we got Okoye, we got Shuri, we got Inan, the Sorcerer Supreme, Killmonger. Like, there's just too many people. And like, so many characters have been like, are they okay? Are they with him? Whatever. This time around, the head of the VoodooCon goes like, listen, like, they're the like mystical, oracle-y kind of council to the king.
Cool.
The question had been like if they were actually serving the king or not. Like, well, who do you serve? Or whom do you serve? And she's like, finally, she's like, I might be beholden to destiny, but I owe fealty to the king. And I was like, cool. All right. Let's go. Let's do this. Listen, this and like Ultimate X-Men for me are like, they're underrated.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, I feel like this book has really gotten like
everybody's singing the praises of Ultimates, but like Black Panther's been giving you the goods the whole time.
It really has. And it could just be that this is just not what people are looking for right now. And I do hope that this series finds its audience one day. Because like I'm really enjoying it. I really think Hale is just a really, really talented writer.
Yeah.
And I've been loving the pace. I know the pace is not for everyone, but like I maybe it's just my experience reading independent books. Like I feel like when you read independent books, the pacing on them is different than it is for mainstream comics.
Yeah.
And maybe this reads a little bit more like that. It's just like this cohesive story instead of the arcs.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And like maybe people are just more interested or more like
comfortable
comfortable with like an arc, you know? So I don't know. I like it a lot.
There is a rhythm.
There is
to mainstream comics.
There is for sure. But I understand that this is not for everyone. But I will say I do think it's really well written. I do think it looks really great.
Yeah,
like just really, really good art in these books, which I think is so funny because it's like I don't know how well this is selling and how much you complain about Amazing Spider-Man not having good artists, and I'm like, this art's great. I think it's so like perfect for the story.
Like why aren't you doing that? We're not here to talk about that because thankfully that freaking book didn't come out.
No, it's true.
But I read Batman Superman World's Finest number 37. Unless you're not done.
No, go ahead.
Batman Superman World's Finest is good. The art is fantastic. It's just it wraps up the story. If you're looking for a Superman, if you're looking for an amazing like DC Justice League World's Finest kind of book, this is the book for you. It's Mark Waid, Adrian Gutierrez. Batman, Superman, Robin, Aquaman, Swamp Thing, Floronic Man, Lori the Mermaid, all of it's in here We see like how Atlantis gets reunited. We see that like Mark Waid could write an Aquaman book and it would work really well. You could see like a sexual tension love story between Superman and his
Wow.
His ex mermaid girlfriend, who's also married to would be rival / like warring kingdom leader. It's good stuff. It's just a really, really solid story that like you could tell Waid just does. He could do in his sleep, but it doesn't but it doesn't put you to sleep. It's a really, really fine, solid book that is quintessentially DC.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
I read Ultimate X-Men this week as well.
Did.
Ultimate X-Men number 13, written and drawn by Peach Momoko. Man, this issue is like, you could accuse this issue of being like a kind of filler because this is all like in this dream state.
Okay.
Right? But like it's just,
but you would miss a lot of gorgeous art
and fun, and you finally get to see like these big fights, right?
Oh, okay.
They get to see all the folks using their powers. They're coming together, they're doing things, and like you see like someone like die, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like I didn't initially realize what was happening, right? Oh my god, this panel. This is a splash page. This is a whole page.
Yeah.
I do not need this page.
No.
I love it. I love it. But only to have it be revealed that two of our characters are like in tanks being like monitored and experimented on in hopes of like being able to control their emotions to take control of them. It's very Weapon X in a way. It's very Weapon X.
They're in the go.
And like and honestly, like I for a second after reading this was like, has this whole book been a dream? I'm like, I don't think so.
I've been surprised by that reveal / not reveal before.
Yeah, it literally made me question what is real, what was not real, but I'm fairly certain it's not that. But again, much like this book always does, I'm like, where's the next issue?
Right. And how do I get to it?
And how can I get to it immediately? Yeah. And again, this comes down to this book being so drastically different. Like Black Panther is very different, but you're still getting a lot of the same.
You get a Marvel book, yeah.
Right? Kind of like, you know, in the same way that Spider-Man is.
Yeah.
This is like, I don't what? You're saying words I know, but in context, I have no idea what this is about.
Yeah.
And again, I don't know how she does it.
Right.
Like she's doing this entire book.
Because I think she's more or less a mangaka artist. And so she's used to working under a deadline.
Right.
And she's getting a Western deadline. So she's like, oh, I get to take more time.
Yes. But also like, you know, she's working with color as well, which is like most mangaka just work in black and white with tones, of course. Sure. So she really gets to play a lot, but like, it's just, she doesn't cut corners. You know what I mean? She just doesn't cut corners. And I think that's just a real testament to her dedication and her talent as well. So just so good. Yes. Finally seeing like female Cyclops in like real action. Fun.
Ooh.
Fun on a bun.
Nice. We both read X-Force number 9 from Jeffrey Thorne and Marcus Toe. This, I believe, is the penultimate issue. If not,
I didn't remember in terms of that, but I know it is the penultimate of the X Manhunt. This is issue 6 of 7 for that. I honestly don't remember when they said that this series was going to.
This ends at 10.
Then this is also this is a penultimate for a lot of things.
Yes, it's the end of X Manhunt, and unfortunately, the end of the best X-Men book coming out right now, which means I'm off X-Men. Oh, no, I got Storm. Storm's also excellent. No pun intended. Screw it. Yeah, pun intended. But like X-Force number 9, I think this is going to be a book where if people do discover, or if I don't know what the longevity of current modern comics are in trade, because you were talking earlier about Flash by Cy Spurrier and how it's like people are going to remember this book. Like they're going to find this book, they're going to discover it, and they're going to be like, oh my God, this Flash book was so good. How come no one read it? And I wonder, though, if it's available, will people just read it? Like, will they find it? And I wonder about X-Force as well, because like it's got story arcs, logos on it. It's right after a more exciting period for X-Men. It feels unchampioned by the line. It features characters that aren't Wolverine. So like, I wonder if like some, you know, intrepid young discerning fan is going to be going through the hallways of a comic book store, you know, because they're so cavernous and huge and expansive, and they have so many.
Where are you shopping?
I'm just shopping in my hood library. I'm like, where there are just scores of books that underutilized, like dinosaurs. Thank you, Kenny. But yeah, no, but I wonder if they'll find it and be like, oh wow, X-Force. I loved X-Force because, you know, I'm a big Rob Liefeld fan. Like, I don't know how they're gonna find this. You know, now, like, I think the life of this book was when it was coming out month to month or week to week. I don't know really.
No, unfortunately, I do think you're right about that. With Flash, is a little different. People will be looking for runs.
Yes.
You know, it's like you'd have to be a huge...
You get the Spurrier run for
Yeah,
Flash.
yeah.
But it's like, will you get the Thorn run for X-Force? I mean, like,
here's the thing.
I hope so.
At the end of the day, like, Jeff Thorne should just be really proud of what he and Marcus Toe did. Like, they did a really good job with this. You know, like, Toe's really like putting out A work. I mean, Thorne dove into this being like, I have to put this event stuff in here. Like, it's not a tie-in, but it ties in. Like, this is the events.
Yeah,
it's like an annual.
This is what's happening. It's true.
It's like an annual event, sort of, because it's like going all over through all the different X titles.
Mm-hmm.
This is the only one I read, obviously, of this. I didn't read any of the other X-Man Hunt stuff, and I gotta tell you, like, Thorne really like took care of me. I was like,
yeah,
cool.
If I had
good feel for what's happening,
because I read my Storm X-Man Hunt tie-in, and I was like, I don't know what the hell. I mean, like, you know, Professor X on the run. I guess I don't even know what he did wrong. You know what I mean? Like, he's in prison, and they're mad, and I'm like,
he was in prison from before.
I know, but like, what did he do?
Crimes against humanity.
But like, what were they? Like, what did he do specifically that like everyone else didn't do?
No, he took the fall for.
Like, he went back in time. I know that was like the really egregious thing, but like, but what did he really do that like is on the books?
Well, I think he also gave himself up.
He did give himself up, but like everyone's mad, and I'm just like, I feel like you kind of ascribing. It doesn't matter. Point is, this book in particular, you know, it's like, look at the starring no one, but it's fun and it works, and it feels quintessentially X-Men in that we have a score of characters who would be great action figures, who all have distinct personalities and looks and powers, who also have their own deep emotional problems or interconnected relationships, and they have their own desires and hopes and dreams, and they're on a team, and it shouldn't work, but it does, and they have their own antagonist who is invented for, like, I like the character that they're fighting, that I keep reminding,
Diablo?
that I'm
La
like,
Diablo.
La Diablo, that I'm constantly reminded exists every time I pick. Oh yeah, La Diablo, there she is. But watch these characters doing their thing. And also Thorne manages to shoehorn in the X-Man Hunt thing and make it the thing I care about the most.
Literally, I was like, this is incredible. Like, he managed to do this without disrupting the flow of his own story.
And made me give a crap about X-Man Hunt for half a second.
I know. But like, you know, his reasoning for how like it works out and the characters he has, like, he made it all work. Yeah. He makes it all work, and it was thrilling. Like, that part was legitimately thrilling. Like, I was like, who is in the egg?
Who's in the egg? And then you find out, and I'm like, I did not see that coming. I did not know that was who it was.
Apparently, I did see it coming, because I was just like, well, if they're trying to do all this 90s stuff, where are the Shi'ar? Why doesn't he just go hang out with them? And they're like, there's going to be Shi'ar stuff in this. I'm like, what?
And then it is, and it's like
back.
awesome.
I'm like, amazing.
Yep, dope.
Yeah. It's Lilandra, folks. That's it. It's Lilandra, and it's really touching.
Yeah.
Like, it's really sweet. And I'm like, oh, hey.
It's earned. And it's like, I've wanted to see that. I've wanted to see that for a long time.
Yeah. And can we also talk about a couple things? One, Toe is just killing it.
Yeah, Marcus Toe needs more work.
He's doing incredible work in there. And having him draw the egg, having him draw Professor X's Cerebro helmet, it just was an immediate throwback to Krakoa.
Yeah.
Did you also love Professor X just letting go of the Cerebro helmet?
Absolutely.
I thought that was really
a great
handled.
moment.
I was just like, good on you, Thorne and Toe. Like, you really did that well. And it was something that we didn't really get a transition from in terms of Krakoa.
Yeah.
And like, I'm sure some of the other X-Man Hunt books maybe have like addressed this or whatever, but this is the one I'm reading, and I thought they handled it really, really nicely. Loved it.
Yeah. No.
Loved it. Good
stuff. Keep it up.
Yeah.
I'm sorry you can't, but hopefully you'll get I hope that this team continues. Like, I like to see not just the team within X-Force, because they also have their own thing, and they're having a big fight, and they'll continue to have it in the next issue. But I mean, the Toe Thorne team.
Yeah.
Like, give them another group.
Yeah.
You know, give them the New Warriors or the Young Avengers, or, you know, the Avengers for that matter. You know, I mean, Avengers book ain't great.
Yeah.
So let these guys handle it. I'd like to see what what Thorne would do with, because Thorne can do anything with anybody, but like give him Captain America. Let's see what he does.
Right?
Why not at this point?
Why not?
Yeah, give Thorne Daredevil, because that book sucks. So yeah, you read Zatanna.
Oh man, did I read Zatanna? I absolutely read Zatanna #2 by Jamal Campbell. I got 2 books this week that are written and drawn by one person. And talk about work, dude. Okay, first of all, story's great. Story's really good. Enter Brother Knight, Paul Dini creation. This does not end the let's think about Paul Dini and have him in the back of our mind for this book. Madame Xanadu is here.
Okay.
And but they call her by her real name.
Oh.
Which I was like, that's right. Her name's Nimue. I always forget that.
Yeah, me too.
Literally always forget that. Fashion in this book is incredible.
Sure,
the designs, all of it. There is a moment when Zatanna enters a TV and her outfit changes and it's just spectacular. I love it because she's in this black and white world.
Yeah.
And she gets this great old style dress and it's just stunning against it with this cloak that's like a smoking jacket kind of look, like a tuxedo, white tuxedo. It's just so good. Yeah, listen, this story is somebody has attacked Zatanna. We're getting this fairy tale stuff in the beginning that's kind of explaining a little bit about it, but piece by piece, we have the lady in white, or the white lady, who was working with someone who was initially helping Zatanna, and she's been stabbed by this magic sword. We get a tarot reading on that later on. Makes more sense in a way. More's gonna happen, I guess. Only to be revealed that guy is dead at his house. So it's what is happening, right? There's all sorts of things. Zatanna's trying to unravel this mystery. She's got this magic sword in her that nobody can see, only she can see. She goes to the Oblivion bar. Detective Chimp is there because he owns the bar, because Jamal Campbell remembers that. I was like, wow, man, good on you. You remembered that.
Yeah.
Blue Devil is serving there, and it's dead because another bar opened up nearby.
What?
And so more of their regulars are going there. And so he's just he's upset because he's just I'm running this into the ground.
Aww.
My friend gave it to me. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. So regardless, good story. We got Zatanna Chase talking with other magical characters, doesn't want to ask for help, definitely wants to just do it on her own, is definitely going to need some help, right? And you have that paired, so it's a compelling magic story.
Absolutely.
Cool. And you have that pair with Jamal Campbell's art on top of it. You know, dude can command a page.
Yes.
His page work is freaking impeccable. He does amazing action sequences, stunning splash pages, and there are these great small details. He's a powerhouse. He's an absolute powerhouse. There is a moment where she is she was recovered. She ended up going to the Oblivion bar, and her they take her upstairs. They give her some tea. And from out of the tea, we see this hand of something that was attacked. And I'm it's a small panel. It's a great panel. It's a great panel.
Yeah, that's Jamal Campbell, man.
Love this panel. Love it. Love the whole thing, right?
Yeah.
And then there's this her arrival into the black and white world, where it's she goes into this TV, and then the whole thing becomes this black and white world that she enters into, where it's old school 40s-ish vibes, 50-ish vibes, right? And by the way, who does she run into? She runs into Bruce Wayne, which makes me immediately think of the animated series.
Yes.
Right?
Oh, yeah. Or the werewolf book.
Well, sure. But it makes me think of the animated series. It makes me think of 2 different things. It makes me think of Batman the Animated Series, where it's just oh, yeah, he studied.
Oh, yeah, under Zatanna. Yeah, exactly.
And then it makes me think of the Justice League, I think Unlimited story.
Yes.
Where Diana
turns into a freaking pig
by Cersei.
That's a
and
great
then
episode.
he has to, and then Zatanna's there and he has to sing.
Yeah.
And it just immediately brought me into that animated mindset, which I feel like Jamal Campbell maybe is making us do that again by pulling in a Paul Dini creation.
Look, I mean, he's also just I'm down. I'm excited for that. I like those stuff. Those episodes.
But I freaking loved that moment, because I'm just okay, what fresh hell is this for her? I don't know.
Yeah.
But there's gorgeous book. If you're looking for a book that is just a fun magical romp, where it's just me and I love magic stuff, so obviously I'm going to enjoy this more than likely, right? But if you're oh, I don't know anything about Zatanna, you're fine.
Yeah,
don't worry about it. You can just pick this up and you can enjoy it.
You'll dig it.
And if you just want to enjoy some just stunning visuals, this is a treat.
Yeah,
total treat.
Well, we also read One World Under Doom from Marvel Comics from Ryan North and R.B. Silva.
Heck yeah.
This continues the trend of Dr. Doom has taken over the world, and by taken over, I mean he's easily convinced the world to hand itself over to him.
Mm-hmm.
And this is an interesting book. Really quick, the Silva art is good. I'm not thrilled with the faces. I think that's the weakest part, where like there's just this kind of like thinness to the lines. I don't know what it is. I'm not convinced on it. Everything else, costumes, masks, all that stuff looks fantastic. All the shot compositions and panel layouts, great. Loved it.
Yep.
Not complaining at all. But the faces feel a little different.
It's a different choice. It's more of a quietly look.
Yeah, it's got a quietly look. It for me has like kind of a, I can't remember his name, but he was like more of a Eastern inspired like manga artist that I was like, I did not like that. And by the way, it's not detracting. I think this is probably some people's favorite art. I completely understand. But it was a little jarring.
Okay.
But overall, everything else fantastic. Looks great. No pun intended.
I don't know why, but like just now I just realized that he's like his uniform is the old school Doctor Strange,
but it's green.
The thing. I'm like, that's fine.
Yeah, you got the logo in there.
He's got the whole logo.
It's great.
He's got on brand.
Yeah.
Good for you, sir.
The story is basically the Fantastic Four. Like, there's no way that he's on the level. We're just going to convince the world by interrupting his UN address. There's no way this could backfire. Let's do that. It does. And then the Avengers are like, well, maybe we'll try something. That's the story. So go ahead. You had some thoughts.
No, I want to hear your thoughts first. I think that's fair.
It's interesting that Doom is doing everything that he promised.
Yeah.
And it's frustrating to watch the heroes be so dumb. Like, Doom doesn't need, like, it turns out if you feed, clothe, and educate people, they'll be grateful. I don't know why you would think he also has like mindless ones from the dark dimension, like funneling orphans into a furnace.
Mm-hmm.
You need to take a minute and not break walls and attack people. All the heroes are acting like stupid people. It's like Doom has cast a stupid aura over everyone who has like a blue in their costumes.
So, okay.
And so they're all really dumb, and no one's taking a minute to think. My only real criticism of Doom's plan, seems to be that no one is, for no good reason, arguing that free education and healthcare is a bad thing.
Yeah, so that's where, like, okay, so you said you were like, I don't know about this.
I did. I'm cynically like, I don't know about this, but genuinely, I was like, this is fun.
So like,
and that's it. Like, I don't have like an asterisk. It's just kind of like, all right.
For me, I thought that it's so funny because it's like I read this and I was like, cool, this really is bringing to light the complexity of this situation.
Yes, absolutely.
And like, I think it's going to open doors for hopeful learning and growth on both sides, because I think the conversation with Valeria is clutch to this issue, because it's like through there, we as the readers have to accept the fact that what Doom says is true when talking to her, that he's always truthful with her.
Yes.
Right. And like, she goes to see him because like, I think we're also supposed to look at this from like, children tend to be a little more open to things where it's just like, all right, let's find out, not
at the
always.
very least they have a childlike innocence.
Yeah.
That,
or like Valeria is so logical.
Yes.
That she's like, well, hang on, let's find out first.
Right.
And like,
let's ask him.
And the four are so passionate, like regardless of if they remember this happening before in a weird way.
Yeah.
Like the whole universe, essentially.
Yeah. Or the last time when he had the crystal and everything.
Yeah. So it's like, they're like, but she's like, hang on. Because like, let's look at what's happening here. Like the problem they're having isn't the education. The problem they're having is the fact that like world leaders are like following along. They're like, obviously there's like machinations, right?
Yes.
And like, if this book was any other book, right, and we weren't seeing as much of like Doom, we'd be like, they're right.
Yeah.
Because obviously the power of written word.
Yeah, because a leopard doesn't change the spots. Like I know I know who Doom is, but I don't see.
Hang on. Let me finish. Let me finish. So like, I appreciate that, like, during that conversation, Doom's like, no, like, I really am doing all this stuff because I think it's the right, like, this is what needs to happen.
Yeah.
But then when Doom punctuates it with, like, I'm doing it for glory.
Right.
And it's like, and Valeria's like, oh, man.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
But it's like, so what?
Yeah.
You know, I don't care. Like, and you get the word on the street, and I'm like, this is the word on the street is weird because it's like, because we don't see much nuance.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like when they did the interviews in Dark Knight Returns, and I don't want to compare One World Under Doom to like one of the most hailed graphic novels of all time, but there's that moment where like everyone's getting interviewed after Batman Returns, no pun intended, in lowercase names except for Batman, but like,
yeah,
they interview these people, and like we see a spectrum of people, and some of them where one person's like, I love Batman, but then he's like, I hope he goes after, and then it's like another a marginalized group of people next.
Yeah.
It's like, whoa.
Yeah. I understand, but like literally, like Valeria like talks him through the whole thing, because like she talks about like the lack of freedom and stuff like that, and like, you know, he like, and she mentions like fascism, and then like she essentially is just like, that's built on a lie. This is built on a truth.
Yes.
And like basically they kind of come to the end where she's like, you have to prove it. And he's like, I know, so I'm trying to work as fast as possible.
Yeah.
But like I think she understands that like he's not in the right headspace necessary for this either. Like regardless of this is a interesting course of action, I think she's worried about the glory component of it for him.
Yes.
But like what we're seeing is a group of adults who are just in not maybe the right headspace. I get the heroes reacting like this. I get Reed Richards being like, there's just no way that that's not what this is, because literally any other book written would be, that is what's happening. Yeah. And we would think them fools if they believed him if it was written in a different way.
Yeah.
But like, it's meant to make us realize it's like, oh man, like maybe the problem isn't necessarily like them not letting Doom do what he's doing, or to like, you know, like help students and like help poor people and help people who need help. It's more or less the fact that it's like, maybe it's an opportunity for the heroes to step back and go like, listen,
what are we doing wrong? Like,
well, it's not just that, but it's like, more than likely than not, the Marvel universe needs to be saved quite frequently, right? Like the Earth needs to be saved, the city needs to be saved. It has to happen, right? And that's what the heroes are there for, and that is what they are like helping out with. But that is not literally every day. And I'm not saying that they need to like work a 40-hour work week or an 80-hour work week. But I am saying that like maybe this is an opportunity for them to step back and go like, how do we ensure that people get what they need?
Yeah.
Like, why did maybe what we're seeing is them lashing out because they're mad that Dr. freaking Doom managed to help people in this way. Like maybe we're like, okay, no, this has to be super evil, because otherwise we would have done it.
Right.
We would have
helped. It's like, except for the fact that Doom did do it with extortion and coercion in mind. You know, it wasn't like he just stepped in and was like, hey, here's all my free like I unpatented everything, you know? Like I invented a time machine. Everyone has access to it now. Like, and not that specifically, because that would be a disaster, but like, you know, flying cars and crap.
But I don't think it is under coercion. Like his desire to prove himself is to prove that like he's not lying. He's like, no, I'm doing this.
No, I mean his coercion to everybody when he starts murdering like his estate and stuff like that.
Sure. But you know what I mean? Like I am wondering if this book has more to say than we were expecting. Where it's like, the heroes at the end of the day, like I'm sure they're going to figure out whatever, right? But it's just like the heroes need to take a step back.
They better learn a lesson at the end of this.
Yeah, for sure, for absolute sure.
Absolutely. Also, Doom turning Ben Grimm into like the thing into Ben Grimm again. I'm like, you did that 1,000 times. Like you can't possibly expect me to be excited about that. Like having seen it 1,000,000 times. Even the thing is like we've been through this. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like it'd be better if he was like if his pose was more like, really? Like, you just don't want me to punch you. You're not helping me. You know?
I legitimately, in that moment, I think Doom's like, okay, I'm helping.
I'm embarrassing Reed is what I'm doing.
Well, I don't think it's that. Like, if I am right, and I think what this is like trying to make the point of like, why did it take Dr. Doom to make some of these things happen? Like, why did Dr. Doom figure out a way to bring people together? Why did Dr. Doom figure out how to give education to people? Why did Dr. Doom figure out how to get healthcare for people?
Yeah.
Like it might be like another point on that. Why did Dr. Doom figure out how to fix you, Ben Grimm?
Yeah.
When you're the like smartest man in the world.
Cheating. I mean, he's using magic.
I know he's cheating, but it's like Reed Richards. If you're so smart, then you should know that using magic along with science would make you even more useful.
Yes.
So it's like, I don't know if this isn't like another notch in the like heroes need to understand that like maybe like inaction is just as bad as a bad action.
Absolutely. No, yeah. Like hopefully what Doom has done will be a rallying cry for the heroes, you know, similarly to how Civil War was like, that's when Reed and Tony finally like made a list of like the 100, you know, things they want to do to fix the world. But the heroes teaming up with the villains at the end, I'm like, okay.
Oh boy.
We're doing Civil War again. All right, cool. Like, I don't know. How about this? Yeah, your PR is going very poorly, but standing next to Mysterio and Doctor and Diablo is going to work out great for you. Was that Baron Mordo? I don't know. Yeah. We also read Absolute Flash. Another absolute book.
Oh, I'm sorry. I want to talk really quickly about the Silva art. Really, like.
Just go ahead.
Because like I think it's a really like a strong fit for the book. They're like once I get used to it, I'm like, oh, yep, I'm in.
Yeah.
But there was like a moment where it just like it displayed for me Silva's like absolute understanding of the assignment, and it's when Doom and Valeria are floating over Earth. Because for me, that moment is there to emphasize how small they are compared to the world.
Sure.
And that's why I was like, maybe this is really about heroes helping in a different way.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
100%.
Maybe I'm thinking.
No, because there's like 6 pages of Valeria talking to Doom. That's what the book is about.
Yeah, but maybe I'm just reading too much into it. I don't know.
No. I think
but not reading it too easy.
This is just something that he wouldn't be able to. This is just something he wouldn't be able to do with a regular Fantastic Four book.
Sure. Let's talk about Flash though.
Flash. Jeff Lemire, Nick Robles. This is the introduction of the one and only Flash in the DC Absolute DC universe, and it's Wally, baby. And
run Wally before Jeff Johns gets you.
This is Wally's an army brat. He's taken to a facility in, I want to say Virginia, and I find it's funny because I saw like at least a couple of Virginia books, but anyway, Wally is brought into a secret research project just because he's a bored teenager, has nothing better to do, by the top research scientist Barry Allen, and then the book sells itself by being about time and Flash's abilities, and does an incredible job of displaying, I don't know if it's time travel or if it's just like a manipulation of the narrative, or if it's meant to make you think that both are happening or one is happening, but you're not sure which one.
Yeah.
But great execution of character, of this premise. It absolutizes or ultimizes characters you would expect.
Sure.
The rogues show up. And they're mercs, of course.
Yeah, of course.
And they're fun, and I'm down for them.
Yes.
We also are like, this is the only Flash. Sorry, Barry fans.
Yeah.
Yes, he's in the book for a minute.
Yeah. Well, and if there is time travel, then
and maybe he will be. Maybe he won't be what he ends up being at the end. But I mean, Robles is crushing it. This looks great.
Yeah. So like, when we were like, all right, we're gonna read this book, right? Like, I didn't know what to expect from this.
No.
Like, I like some of Lemire's stuff, but I have not loved others.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I'm reading the current Flash, but I wouldn't say I'm a Flash fan
in
general.
You're a Spurrier fan.
So, like, to my surprise, I enjoyed this.
Yes.
Like, I felt like Lemire is playing on something that a lot of us can relate to. Like, the anxiety that Wally has, the not fitting in, the feeling of being misunderstood, especially in your youth. Like, I was really like surprised at how much like I could relate to Wally.
Yes.
And like,
but in such a different way than what you would how you would normally relate to
but like
Wally.
The idea of like Wally being young and having anxiety and being able to run fast,
right,
to get away from his problems, like that's interesting.
Yeah,
that's legitimately interesting.
That's a pitch. Yeah.
So like, I don't know though, because I'm less familiar with some of Flash's other runs and his history overall. Like, I don't really know what's an homage versus like
just whole cloth,
what's
new
brand
stuff.
new.
Yeah.
So it's like a little like Ultimate Black Panther for me, where I'm just like,
Well, I'm just enjoying it. I don't know what that's a reference to.
This is a good story, and I'm just enjoying it. I'm having a good time.
Yeah.
I agree with you. Robles art is dynamic.
Yes.
Which you need for a Flash book, in my opinion. Like, you need that.
Yeah, you need somebody like a Francis Manapul, where it's like, whoa!
Yes, and I want to give 2 shout-outs to Adriano Lucas for the colors, and they're perfect. They're energetic, and they're youthful. Like, it just fits the vibe of the Flash.
Yep, and still manages to make red and yellow look cool.
Oh, yeah, hell yeah. And then a shout-out to Tom Napolitano for some great lettering.
Yeah.
I love the time establishment shots.
Oh God, yeah. Now,
yeah, so
great.
good. Just really, being unafraid of that page. Love it. Like, but yeah, the book overall, like, was good. I enjoyed it. Like, my love is kind of more for the art and for the lettering.
Yeah.
But I like the story, and I will definitely give it another issue or show for sure before making a final call on it. But I thought it was good, and it was fun.
Yeah, definitely. Is that it?
No.
I mean, is that it for you?
Yeah. Yes.
Well, then I read Absolute Batman from Nick Darrington and Scott Snyder.
Just you?
Did you read it?
Yes.
Okay, cool. We read Absolute Batman. Nick Darrington. Jesus Christ. By the way, it was Nick Darrington's birthday the other day. Nick Dragata and Scott Snyder. This is, I think, like the end of the arc. I know they said like it was part 5, but like this feels like it's actually the end of the arc, where it's like we get to see where everyone ends up.
Sure.
Setting up the next period.
Yes.
Batman just I love this book for what it dares to do, though it does continue to drop notches under other Absolute books for it being the best. Like Absolute Superman went from the bottom to the top, and Absolute Batman has gone from the top to the bottom. And it's not to say that Batman is bad or that it is inferior. It's just that I'm like, like every new issue of Absolute Wonder Woman innovates and dares to challenge the reader and to introduce you to something new and fresh. Absolute Batman is Absolute Batman from issue 1 to issue 6.
Yes.
Except for that one weird issue that was drawn by Mike Del Mundo, which looked great, but also was weird, doesn't fit. This book is one of the most consistent Absolute books.
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh my God. I mean, like, well, Wonder Woman is too, but like.
Well, I was going to say, like, I am on like a freaking roller coaster with this series. Some issues I'm like, okay, this is fine. And then there are issues like this one where I'm like, you could conceive it as being like typical Snyder fodder, but it gets me excited about the series. So it's like, I'm like doing this the whole time. And I sometimes do that with Snyder's like big 2 books. Less so with his indie stuff. Like, if he gets me with his indie stuff, I'm in on the indie stuff the whole time. It's just, again, it's different pacing. Different pacing for different types of stories. But yeah, for this one, I'm like, I can't get a beat on it, but like, it is entirely what it wants to be. And it should be applauded for that.
Well, and I love what it's doing, where it's like, okay, this is a Batman who's never alone. There's a Batman who, from the jump, is never alone. And the funny thing is that the mainstream Batman hasn't been alone since like 1986. Like, he's always had someone / a score of someone since 2006. Like, Batman's been surrounded by people, but he's such a loner.
It's really funny how people don't, like, I guess writers just don't want to only write for Batman.
Right. But which I do. Like, all I want is Batman to be alone. Because that's who he is. That's why he's so interesting and fun. But also, I get the cast and I'm down for it. But also, Jesus, like, come on, give me some variety. Batman has all of his friends are the villains that he would normally fight in the other universe. He tells them who he is.
I know.
And I'm like, yeah, he would.
Yep, this Batman would. Because he doesn't know anything.
He doesn't know anything. And like, I thought.
And he has his mom. He trusts people.
He has his mom. I'm
just saying, he learned to trust.
Exactly. And I kind of, I thought we were going another direction with it, where I was like, way to go. Because it was like Alfred, right? Alfred's here. He's being, disconnected from his family. He's helping Batman. The money comes in, we're going to do Batman. And then Snyder's like, no, he burns the money. And then we see and I'm like, and Alfred's going to leave. And Batman's Alfred will be his former rogues. No, Alfred still stays. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Well, because he needs someone who knows what he's doing.
No, his friends all become Alfred.
Well, they'll help, but like none of them have the skill set that Alfred has.
No.
And that's funny because you bring that up because like this issue made me realize that there's like a little bit of a pattern to Batman where it's like absolute Batman has an MO where it's just like, oh no, what's he gonna do? New gadget.
Yep, new thing.
Stab.
Yeah,
but
his
then,
eye stabbing.
But
ears.
then was like, hey, hang on, I got you with something that you probably weren't expecting, but like we're expecting in a weird way where it's like, well, obviously he's gonna come up with something. How about he just his whole friend group knows?
Yeah,
the friend group knows. The group chat is blowing up.
Yes, right, and I kind of love that, and I'm down.
Pissed.
Yeah, yeah, but they're all. I mean,
yeah, they're all gonna be mad.
They're all gonna be mad. But yeah, I want to see where that goes. I hope they don't become villains. Like I hope they don't become the Rogues.
I legitimately hope that too. I hope we don't see that, or like instead they become like heroes named that thing.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
I thought it was really funny. Obviously, we're talking about the title of this episode.
Oh,
but,
yes.
Like, in that sequence, when he lands on the ship, he like lands on a guy, and then we pretend like that guy's alive. And I'm like, that man is dead.
Yeah,
like,
no, he's just shattered everything in his body, but he's just a meat sack that's still alive. Batman is such just a wacko in this book.
He is a coiled spring of a man.
It's like, I love it. You keep making fun of me. Let me show you what happens when that happens. But him just punting that kid off the side, I'm like, yeah. Also, what's the deal with the party animals? Are they octopus people? I mean, the worst part of this book is the Dark Knight Returns homage.
Oh, okay. Yes, thank you. I was like,
because I was like, oh, are the octopus people like the mutants? Like, I think Snyder's like, oh yeah, no, because like, what are the mutants? Nobody asked. Nobody wants to like, what are they? Why are they so weird? Why are they mutants? Like, are there mutants in this world, or are they just like, do they file their teeth down? Like, what is that all about? And it's like, in this, it's like, what are the party animals? Are they are they alien people? Are they mutants themselves? Like, who cares? It's like, I'm sorry, but like, they have tentacles coming out of their heads. Are they Twi'leks? What's happening here? But yeah, he does punt a kid off the side. It's hilarious because the kid's like, what? I'm just a kid. What? Like, even though he's just stabbing him before.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, that nailed it. Mm-hmm. Good. I like him chucking the life preservers at him. I broke all your arms. I broke both your arms and your legs, but here's the life preserver anyway. Good luck grabbing it. Grab it with your teeth or whatever.
Yeah.
So I'm a humanitarian.
But he just your head in there.
But him just punting these people into the ocean. I'm like, yeah, good. All right, I'm down. The party animals, I've had enough of them. But not in a way where I'm like annoyed by them. I'm annoyed by them in the story, and I'd like to see Batman beat the living crap out of them.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, yes, he did that. Good. Continue. But yeah, that Dark Knight Returns homage. Don't do that. We get it. Like, I know he's inspired. He's huge.
I know.
We know.
I know.
But then, like, to do it, I'm like, it's beneath you. That's my problem.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I know that everyone who does Batman since Bill Finger is doing like an homage. But like, own it.
Mm-hmm.
You're Scott Snyder. You wrote Zero Year.
Yeah.
You know, you wrote you invented the Court of Owls. People should be homaging you.
Right.
They don't have to show deference.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And it only came off to me as derivative. Like, it did not seem exciting. I'd rather see a Dark Knight Returns moment for him. Like, I'd rather see Absolute Batman give us his Dark Knight Returns.
Right.
So that people can, like...
Well, yeah, he did. He jumped at you instead of to the side.
Yeah, I know. But he also did that on the cover. It's like, I've seen that already.
I know. That I was like, okay. I mean, like, literally, it's just, like, give the opportunity. They want to do it.
I know they want to do it.
But Dragotta wanted to do it.
I know. All right. Fine.
I'm not agreeing that, like, I don't think it's, I was like, yeah. I don't know. This, while I was reading it, I was like, I feel like this series is a Batman you've never seen through the lens of the familiar.
Yes.
Like, that's what this is.
Yeah.
And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Like, there really is nothing wrong with that whatsoever. It's just, I'm like, I don't know. Some issues I'm like, yeah. And other issues I'm like, okay,
yeah.
It's cool.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. It's again, boats. But yeah, Batman, you know, we said all that.
But like that image is not a lie. Batman kicks a kid off a ship.
Yeah, he does. It's great.
It is fuck.
They
He's fine.
Scott has been
stunned.
Scott has been yeah, that's right. Scott has been teasing Bane since a couple of years ago when he told me about this.
Yes.
He's like, you won't believe Bane. And then I saw the picture of Bane and I'm like, oh, he's just bigger. Do you know what else is that literally every single version of Bane outside of the comics, like every single Bane, except for the movie Bane from Dark Knight Rises, is like an exaggerated version, including the Bane that he invented for the last Arkham or whatever the hell that book was called. Like, Bane's bigger though, and he's got these big, stupid green tubes, these very obvious green tubes that he could cut immediately. That the animated series just immediately was like, see, Nightfall is over. There was never going to be a Nightfall because he has these big, obvious tubes.
Yeah,
he's just like, what? Like, your thing is that Batman's poor and Joker's rich, but Bane's still huge. I not that I expected
he's
more.
He's gonna look like a Sienkiewicz Kingpin.
Yeah. All right.
Just
like and it's like I saw like the jokes, when Absolute Batman was like when they leaked the image of him.
Yeah.
So like, so what's Bane gonna be? Like the size of a car, or a mansion? And I'm like, I hope not, because that would be silly. And not that I'm oh no, the comic books are silly, but like, I don't know, just he's just bigger. That's what you got. All right. I mean, maybe like he's a cyborg and there's a little guy in there. I don't know. It's fine. I don't want to see Batman. You know what the other thing is though? Okay. The argument for Bane being big is Batman's the biggest thing in the room. So what happens when you meet something even bigger?
Right.
All right. I'll see that. Like, I'll buy that for $1. But this is cool. It's cool. Dragata's art continues to deliver. He manages to do fun action sequences and quiet character moments, though his action sequences in this particular one felt a little too Dark Knight inspired, where it was like little panels. I'm like, no. You broke the mold. Issue 1, gorgeous, big stuff, like double page, widescreen comic stuff. Go for it. Don't little crap. Yeah, no, it's fine. I like it. Don't get me wrong, but this is a flagship book, and it's not just a flagship book for this book. It's flagship for the universe.
Yeah, that's true.
And people who would love Absolute Flash or Wonder Woman will know about it from this, and this needs to be at the top. And it's like, it's good. And I actually think when you read it together, it'll read really well.
Also, there's a great moment between Martha and Jim in this.
Oh yeah. That's great.
In the street with the Purge.
Yeah, with the Purge. Great scenes.
Yeah,
and I like the Jim and Martha of it all. I love Martha as a character. She's great. So yeah, that's where Scott really is nailing it. Batman yelling and saying insane things. I'm like, all right. It's not even grimdark. It's just kind of silly. Like, I don't buy it.
That's fair.
But otherwise, it's a good book. It's definitely not like something you need to cut. It's going great. And unfortunately, Matt Rosenberg couldn't be here. So instead, I'll just remind you folks that there is a book that he wrote called We're Taking Everyone Down With Us, which I've had a chance to read and is great. Kieran Gillen actually hyped it up in his Power Fantasy book. You want to tell us a little bit about that?
Oh, in the back of Power Fantasy this week, there were 2 additional letters in which Gillen highlighted 2 other creators' books. And I thought that was very cool of him.
It was really cool of him. He's really, like, Gillen is embracing the freedom that Image affords.
Yes.
And that any comic books can give you.
He also said that, like, Power Fantasy might be a swan song on the genre of superheroes. And I was like, oh.
Oh, no.
Please don't.
What are you talking about?
What?
So what is your book of the week?
Yo, I don't know.
Right? There's too many.
There's literally too many books.
Our cup runneth over.
Like, are you kidding me? Like, freaking for reals? There's no way.
Yeah.
There's no way. Like, I freaking loved both Ultimate books that came out this week. Like, I really did. New Gods continues to be amazing.
Yes.
But, like, Zatanna came out, and that art is spectacular. Are you kidding me?
Absolutely.
Oh.
Well, I think that while I think I'm going to have to give it to X-Force on this one. And the reason I'm going to give it to X-Force is because of the cool moment with Xavier and Lilandra.
Fair.
And like making me care at all about the X-Men universe, which I really don't at this point. Lex Luthor was good. I liked that a lot. Flash was great. But X-Force really nailed it. And it was a great series, and it will Continue to be for one more issue.
Flash was good.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm really torn between Power Fantasy and Zatanna.
Yeah, that's fair.
I think it's gotta be Power Fantasy. I just love this book so much. And that marketing thing in the back. Come on. It's just like phenomenal.
Yeah.
It's just such a great book.
So before we go, we're of course going to read our super chats, and then we are going to recommend comics that are coming out this week that we think you should check out.
Apparently, other folks are also saying next week's, like this coming week, is a big week.
It is. I have 12 books to read this week.
I didn't look. Yeah.
Hulkzilla, calling it now. The punted kid is absolute Robin. He's gonna have to ditch those weird dreads or whatever you call them, tentacles. Silas Loudon says, "Howdy, hope you're having a good day." And I was wondering if you guys are going to do Fantastic Four Life Story on back issues. I'll have to read it first. I read the first issue. We'll see.
Nice. Red Havoc saying, "Love you guys."
Thank you, Red Havoc.
Bear Farmer saying, "Boy math, I bought 1 book last week, so 3 this week." Nice.
Nat reads, "Hey, just wanted to say thanks for the recommendation for New Guys."
Hey,
anytime, man. That's great.
Revolutionary Dragon saying, "Hey, this crossover got me to read the main Sonic book and enjoyed it."
Nice. That's great. Yeah, I mean, if you were sold by that book, you will like the rest of the Sonic series. RNDS24, I met Brian Michael Bendis over the weekend, and he signed my Daredevil End of Days book, which is amazing. Definitely pick out that book. I mentioned your guys' channel and you guys and the channel, and he said he watched your stuff. He looked kind of annoyed, though. Yeah, that sounds about right.
It's you, not me.
Yeah, I've met him a couple of times, and he's never brought it up. So who knows? But I do appreciate.
Maybe he was just being polite.
Maybe he was just being polite. I like that he said he watched it.
Yeah, I watched it.
Yeah, I watched it.
I wonder if they always say that. You know what you have to do to make up a channel name. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't burst the bubble.
Yeah, don't
burst the bubble of like just meeting your creator.
Yeah, no,
like,
just have fun.
Yeah.
Last time I met him, I had him sign my Batman Universe hardcover.
Nice.
That was great.
Tyler Heffer saying, "Hey, Tiff and Sal, I've been a fan for about 9 years. You got me into reading comics. I just used Marvel Unlimited to pretty much get caught up on the new Ultimate Universe. So good. Thanks for all you do."
Anytime, man. Thank you so much for being a fan for this long. And I'm so glad we got you to read comics. It's fantastic.
Welcome.
Bryce Harriet, hello from Colorado. Ultimate Black Panther makes this fantasy nerd happy. My mother adores Ultimate Spider-Man, so I know it's more than wish fulfillment. That's great.
I love it. Right, Ultimate Black Panther is just really good.
Yeah, Ultimate Spider-Man continues to be wonderful.
Yes. Bear Farmer saying, "Batman kicks door, punches Joe. Why are you doing this for your wife, daughter? Who are you? Who are still alive? Joe, I'm not." What? Batman.
Yep, he sure does that, and it's real dumb. I don't know why he does that. Alexandre Debon.
I love that depiction where he's just like, "Hey."
Yeah. Why are you doing this? I don't know. What are you saying?
Are you for your wife and daughter who is definitely still alive and like down the street?
What?
I gotta go.
Hey, do you remember who saved your life on the operating table? He was really important. Bye.
Yeah, for no reason, not to me.
Alexandre Debon Broussard says, "Hi, Sound Tiff. With comics, are you more into how a given author writes various characters or how a given character is written by various authors?" At this point, honestly, I prefer characters. Like, I'm just like, oh man, whoever is writing this character well, I'm in.
I do a little bit of both. I think obviously with Doctor Strange, I'm willing to try anyone's take on them because I think he's a character you can kind of play around with. He definitely has like a specific thing you can lean back on, but yes. I enjoy seeing what folk do with them. But I also am reading The Flash now just because Cy Spurrier started writing it, and I just wanted to give it a shot, and I wouldn't have continued with it if I didn't enjoy it. Yeah. So I don't know. Dante Cook saying, "Hey, ComicPop family. I can't stay. I just wanted to say hi, and Zatanna is great. Agreed, 100%. If you're not reading it, you're absolutely insane, and nobody can help you."
That's true.
I didn't say that.
Dante did. But Dante did. By the way, if you want to meet me, you can do so this Saturday at ZapCon in Wayne, New Jersey on Saturday. There's going to be a panel at 2 p.m. Please come by and say hello if you're in the New Jersey area. That's going to be at ZapCon in Wayne, New Jersey. Just look it up, ZAPP. NJ or zapconnj.com. just Google it and you'll find it.
Or ChatGPT.
No, don't do that. Stupid sandwich. Jason Aaron's inspiration for Bug Wars is 1/3 Dan Slott's run on Spider-Man, 1/3 Empires of the Undergrowth video game, and lastly, 1/3 I have a deadline coming up. I disagree.
I do too, but that's funny. Gerg Peck does. Have you heard of Dungeon Crawler Carl? It's an extremely popular novel series that's been turned into a CB series. I love it. The darkest comedy I've ever seen.
Yep.
I'm guessing.
No.
I was like, Sal will answer and then I'll answer.
Yeah.
But we both answered.
Yeah.
No, I haven't.
No.
But that's awesome. I'm glad you're enjoying it.
Yeah. The Lore Store just wanted to say for probably the 1000th time that I love back issues. Well,
Yay.
I can't even explain it. Makes my day or makes my week every week. Thanks, you guys. Have a great day. You too, Lore Store. Thanks a lot, man. Appreciate it.
Sal bringing the love.
Thanks.
Matt Fisher saying, why, Tiffany? Why did you make me read Power Fantasy? Now I love it. I have to spend more money every month. I'm not sorry.
That goes on the cover.
I'm not sorry. Cue up the good content, B-Mock and B-Walk.
That's right.
Thank you so much.
You,
I'm not sorry. I'm not sorry for that.
No.
At all.
Our serial says, I don't think I've laughed harder at a comic than at the issue of Absolute Batman that's just so surprised by that panel. It's true. Yeah. Just him being like, punt. That's enough of you. Like, yeah.
What?
That was great.
Bear Farmer back to say PF's non-linear feels like an alternate history.
Yes,
it is, and it very much is. Like, it is definitely treated like that, like that. It is an alternate history, and like it shows you kind of where things broke off, and that's what I think I got Ethan with.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's right. New Doc Prime. It's bad if you collect comics and Warhammer. It is if in terms of money. Yes, that will eat your bank account alive.
Henry Cavill needs to start a Warhammer fund for people for
recovering Warhammer plays.
Bear Farmer saying Wonder Woman just put Lex under a purple spotlight.
Yeah, I feel like there's no way she used the purple healing ray on him. Then she was just like, oh, we have another thing for like the tourists. Yeah, Superman begs her to use the purple healing light ray on Lex, and they're like, how dare you?
Ew.
Yeah. Moif Social Club. I just saw that there's a Predator anime animated project with pirates coming out. Hope you get a check. Yes, that's right. I am not getting a check, and I'm sure they all think it's a great idea, even though Tom King disagrees. But yes, I saw a promo that was like an image of a Predator silhouette over a pirate chest full of booty with his like laser cannon in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I said it was a great idea.
On a pirate ship.
I said it was a great idea.
But he said no.
Yep, we'll see. I'm not involved.
That's fair.
I should be.
Matt Fisher saying we need more Bort license plates.
That's right, we do in the gift shop. We are sold out of Bort license plates. How do you throw a party in space? You plan it. Well done. Gert Pectus says
Fantastic Four is relaunching with the same team and continuing the same story. It's so pathetically desperate. I refuse to buy any relaunch for 3 months.
Actually, Humberto Ramos is taking over the art on that book, so is not the same team. But it does look exciting, and I'm not reading it anyway, so I don't care.
You're up. I just read that one.
Oh, Matt Fisher, thank you very much for your generosity. Saying everybody thinks Xavier unalived a space shuttle crew. In reality, it was a bunch of lifeless egg husks. So everybody focuses on the mutants' hatred onto him, which hasn't happened. But yeah, I guess it's weird.
Sorry, Chuck.
Yeah.
Matt Fisher coming back to say, is Tiff going to get the second Danny Ketch omnibus?
I don't know. Do we have it? I thought we would, but like, if there's another one, then maybe we should.
You know how much I love Danny Ketch.
Noah Kennedy, not much to say. We're sending love. I will say, just reread JMS Spider-Man again and sighed wistfully.
Oh,
I know. That'll do that to you. I'm sorry.
Bear Fire back to say, Wood #2, an example on why we don't do Johnny's plans. One World Under Doom. I like that shortening of it.
That's true.
You don't just go with Johnny's plans.
No.
If Johnny's a plan, it's the moment you got to go like, wait, am I taking this seriously?
Yeah.
Should we take
probably
a step
good sign
back?
That we're not
Let's
doing
just take a step back. I'm not saying no, but I am saying
probably not.
Let's sleep on it.
Argue it. Really not feeling One World Under Doom with current political climate.
Oh, I think that's completely fair.
Yeah.
I am hoping for a real set of good lessons learned.
Yeah, I agree.
Please learn lessons, everybody.
That's right.
Typical Spider. Hey guys, I'm saving the video on demand for my drive to Jersey. Hey, nice. The back issues playlist is queued up too. Do you guys think that Absolute Barry could become Reverse Flash? Oh, maybe. Yeah, that could be cool. I don't know. I had no expectations or speculations about it whatsoever, but I think that's cool. That's a good idea. Yeah.
Arduit says, I'm not feeling a multi-million-dollar company talking about the detriment of world-saving policies because it's just too close to totalitarianism. Just ick. That's fair. That's one interpretation. I mean, it's Ryan North's work. I mean, like,
yes.
Marvel doesn't care. They're not telling him not to do that because of political reasons. So, it's his story.
Yeah. Oh, no, absolutely. I think there's something more here.
Yeah.
At least I'm hoping for that.
Certainly Marvel doesn't care one way or the other. Marvel doesn't pretend to have politics. They just do what they want. They just do what they think will sell.
Bear Farmer, Absolute Flash felt like the Dr. Manhattan time sequence in Watchmen, but if Doc had ADHD and couldn't stop being everywhere at once and focus on now.
Yeah, that's true. It did feel like Dr. Manhattan. That's interesting. Yeah. Chocobo Kid, finally Batman puts all those gains to use. That's fair.
Kicking that kid in the ocean. Matt Fisher saying Barry Allen should be the new Rainbow Rider.
There we go. Raider.
I said Rider.
You did.
I
which is way more cool. That's more like Silver Surfer.
Rainbow Rider.
Yeah.
It's like Thor.
That's actually not a bad Marvel pitch right now. It's just like he summons the Bifrost and rides it.
Yeah.
Like Iceman in the Amazing Spider-Man cartoon.
Yeah, exactly.
RLC Comics. Do you remember the first time you read a comic you thought was perfect? Mine was Daredevil Born Again. Definitely Born Again was one of those books where I thought it was perfect. Certainly Human Target, I believe, was perfect. Or at least it felt the most perfect.
I Kill Giants.
Yeah, there you go.
I thought
Dark Knight Returns was another one for me.
That's fair.
I was like, I've never had an experience like this before.
That's fair.
Yeah, I Kill Giants. Nice.
Stupid Sandwich saying, I don't understand the fervor over the absolute universe. It kind of feels like a footnote for DC, the equivalent of the grammar school science fair. I hope I'm wrong, though.
No, I think you are. So, but thank you very much for your support anyway. And listen, like the books are selling and people are excited, and that's what matters to me. What matters to me is that they're selling books and they're getting people into comic book stores and that they're getting people excited about these characters.
Yeah, but like, here's the thing. Everybody has their own opinion, and that's absolutely fine. As long as the folks who are buying them are enjoying them.
Yeah. Here's what I'm reading next week, or at the very least books that I recommend and Tiffany will recommend this week that are coming out. For one thing, Hatoosh is beginning with Batman number 158. That's right. Jim Lee and Jeff Loeb are back, baby. And this book already has over 400,000 pre-orders. So don't worry, there will be a copy at your comic book store. Ultimate Spider-Man number 15. Hooray!
Yay!
Love the series.
Absolute Wonder Woman number 6 is coming out.
Ultimate Wolverine number 3 is coming out. I guess I'll read this.
Are we not reading Amazing Spider-Man?
I don't recommend it.
Oh, okay. We don't recommend it. Okay. Fair.
You're welcome to if you want to.
That's fine. Okay.
Superman 24 is also dropping. Dan Mora, Josh Williamson. Great stuff. Great series. Definitely be reading this.
I guess I'm going to check out Absolute Martian Manhunter number 1.
Yeah.
Gotta.
Right. Justice League Unlimited number 5 is dropping. This is going to be, I think if it hasn't already, it's going to be kicking off a big event that Mark Waid's doing with
this is
time
something
travel.
About ghosts.
Ooh.
On the cover.
Wonder Woman number 19 is dropping as well. So I got to read that as well. Let's see here. You got one.
Do I? Where am I looking? Oh, Flash number 19 is coming out. I'm enjoying this series. I like Spurrier around this book. He's good.
Yeah. Wolverine Revenge is ending forgivably, so I'll be reading the end of that, see how that goes. That'll be fun.
Oh, I didn't see that row. Was there anything there?
No.
Oh, okay.
Black Canary Best of the Best number 5 is dropping.
Oh, man.
Soon to be the end of the series. Not yet.
Sorry, I got really excited. Doom Academy number 2 is coming out.
Oh, boy.
I enjoyed that book.
I know.
It was a lot of fun.
Godzilla versus Fantastic Four number 1 is coming out. That is the first, last, and only issue of Godzilla versus Fantastic Four. Again, these are all like battle across the century. It's time. They're all period pieces. Like there's going to be a Fantastic Four, Spider-Man, Hulk, X-Men, Thor. The Avengers are going to fight Godzilla, but it's the new Avengers. So like, please buy it.
That's great.
Tell them we want the new Avengers to come back. Lord knows I do.
What's this?
I don't know.
I don't know what that is.
But yeah. So,
Seasons is coming out. I'll check it out. Seasons number 3.
Okay. Let's see here. I think
we're taking everyone down with us. Number 1. Was that Universal? What? Oh, The Mummy? Sure.
Yeah, why not?
Sure, why not?
Yeah.
Okay.
Here's a book that's very much up Tiffany's alley. It's just it's a sentence and it's from Image Comics.
I don't know anything about it. I won't recommend because I don't know anything about it yet. It's just more or less what I'll be checking out. So some of these are definitely things I'll still be reading along with you, but this is a lighter week for me.
Yeah.
Not super light, but lighter than this week.
Exactly.
Which was not light.
No.
I'm sure there's definitely something down there I'm missing.
Oh, no doubt.
There's just too many books that were flying past my face. It's fine. Is the Jersey Devil book coming out?
Oh, yeah. What's it called? Not the 13th Child. It's a movie.
It's called The
Let's
Phrase.
This one be the devil. Nope, it's not there. Be a devil, by the way.
Yes.
So yeah. No, it's not coming out yet. It's at least issue 2.
Okay.
But yeah, a lot of books, a lot of comics. We will see you guys next week. But before we go, we want to remind you a few things. Number 1, I'm going to be physically in a space that you can go to in public that you can come by and I'll even sell you a poster or something.
Places.
Yeah, that's true, but I don't want you to come by. Like, I don't want you to see me at the grocery store. Just see me at ZapCon in Wayne, New Jersey on Saturday at anywhere between when it opens and 2 p.m. That's when the panel is. The panel, by the way, will be on some bleachers right next to the booth. So don't worry about
it's a
formality.
It's a cute little local con.
It is.
It's
yeah.
very nice. There'll be, if you want an opportunity to get some great dollar comics.
Yes. Or some discounted trades.
There will be so many boxes of back issues.
Oh my God. It's going to be insane.
So if you like to hunt for stuff, you're looking to run out a collection, I'd say go for it.
I agree. But yeah, Tiffany streams typically on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, but you are might be busy, I think.
I don't know. I'm going to try to make it work.
But
I know I wasn't there last week, but admittedly, I don't remember what I was doing on Tuesday. Oh, we had the problem in the house, and then Wednesday I was hosting back issues, so that didn't happen.
That's right. But if you want to check out Tiffany's streams, you can do so by following at twitch.tv/ComicPop or subscribing on YouTube here at youtube.com/ComicPop Plays. All links for everything we do are in the description below this video, so definitely check that out and subscribe so you can know when she goes live. But also check out the previous streams. There's hundreds of videos of many hours of you streaming and having fun and being positive. So check that out. And of course, if you haven't already, I am on a podcast called This Week in Nerd History over on Dorkly. It has 4 million subscribers, but be one of them and go over there and check it out. I provide voice work occasionally for that team, and I also am a third personality on that show. And we talk about movies and comics and video games and all kinds of stuff. So if you haven't already checked out that show, you should, because it's a fun show. It's very different kind of show. Really fun hosts. Mike and AJ are great, and I have a great time. And it's a very different kind of show. Speaking of very different shows, on this channel, we also have a brand new show. We're working on the name, but it's on this channel. Subscribe to this video or subscribe to this channel and click the bell for notifications so you know when we go live. But the show typically drops every other Sunday, and that show is starring myself and Ethan and Ben. We'll see if we're going to get some more guests. Those guests would probably be either Tiffany or other people who've hosted back issues in the past. So check out that as well. And we want to thank you so much for hanging out with us. Thanks to Super Chats for sponsoring today's show, and thanks to the chat for being cool and respectful. And we'll see you guys next time with another episode here on Off the Rack. I'm Sal.
And I'm Tiffany.
So long, everybody.
Bye.